In today's gospel, we read about the scribe who comes to Jesus and asks him, "Which is the first among the commandments?" And Jesus says to him, "You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength." And then this scribe, for once among his type, not trying to trick or trap Jesus, instead professes true belief in what our Lord says. And seeing that this scribe answers with understanding, Jesus says to him something truly profound. He says, "You are not far from the kingdom of heaven." My question is this: are we close and moving closer to the kingdom of heaven? Sometimes the hardest part of moving closer is simply showing up, and I have a personal story to relate this to you. One day last summer, around the time of the climax of my conversion to the Catholic faith, I sort of stumbled into a weekday mass at Newman Center, and by all accounts I was out of place. In fact, I felt so out of place that I went to the bathroom simply to be there and to be away from everybody, and this was just as Mass was starting. And I desperately wanted to be in Mass, but I had all sorts of questions about the Catholic faith, and I was nervous about what to say during Mass, and when to stand, and when to sit. So I was especially nervous about how to properly genuflect. In other words, I wanted to have everything together for God. So to practice genuflecting, in the bathroom, I took one knee, and as I came up from my first ever genuflection, I remember thinking to myself, this is nuts. Here I am in the bathroom, genuflecting, while Mass is going on just a few feet away. So I went with purpose into the chapel, just as Mass was getting underway. And I fumbled through the most glorious Mass that I've ever been to. And the key detail is not that I fumbled, it's that I showed up. And not just physically, but as the real me, with all my baggage, with all my hopes, with all my fears, and in all my shortcomings. So as we fumble our way through the remainder of Lent, let us simply show up and bring our real selves to God. That's all we really can give, and that's okay because that's all He really wants. God bless.